Okay, so far in our class piano, we have learned 5-finger pattern. Okay, but in a regular scale, it's not only 5 notes, right? We have to go all the way up to the next note that is the same as the first note, right? So if we start on C, we got to end on C. Okay, so there are a couple more notes involved in order for us to complete these scales. Okay, but the good thing is we already know a part of the formula because we have been playing, a lot of these 5-finger pattern. Okay, so we already know the first 5 notes in every key because that's how we play those 5-finger pattern. All right, and again, to review, the first 5 notes in every key is followed by a specific formula. Remember that? Is whole, whole, half, and whole, right? Stay with me, right? So if we are in the key of C, so we want to start on C, okay? And then we go whole step, like what we said. Here's whole step again. And then half, right? And then whole step one more time. 1, 2. Alright, so you already know the first 5 notes in C. Alright, so how do we figure out the rest of it? Okay, it's very easy because one of them is already kind of like given, because the last note of the scale have to be the same as the first note. So the first note is C, so you know the last note needs to be C. Okay, so the only thing that are left is 2 notes that are in between right here. Okay, so how do we figure out what they are and if there's any sharps or flats in them? Okay, so here is the formulas to figure out the rest of it. It's easy, it's just whole steps. Okay, and that's all. All right, take a look. So you already finished the first 5 notes. Okay, now you want to figure out the rest of it. Okay, so you start right here at the 5th note, which is a G in the key of C. You go a whole step. 1, 2. That's an A. And then you go another whole step. 1, 2. That's a B. How about that last note? What kind of step do we need to do? You don't need any step to find that last note because it have to be the same as the first note. And then you're done. Okay, so basically, the whole formula will be whole, whole, half, whole, 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 same note as the first, and then you're done. Okay, so you are adding 2 extra whole notes on top of that 5th note of your pattern, and then you are completing your scale. Okay, so let's do another key just in case, right? So let's try key of A. All right, a lot of us done that pretty well. Here's your key of A, right? So you start your notes on A. Okay, and then of course the 5-finger pattern is whole, whole, half, whole. So start with A, whole, whole, half, whole. Okay, so you finish that. You can retry that. That sounds good. Okay. Now, we are in the key of A, so you know that you got to end on A. Okay, so now let's finish adding the rest of the note. And again, they are whole step, right? From that last note that you find. Okay, so here is that last note, the E, the sol. Okay, whole step. So 1, 2. Okay. Whole step. 1, 2. And then so you're done. So your A major scale will look something like this. Okay, so in the key of A major, not only you have the C sharp on the first 5 notes, that's what we know. You also have the F sharp and G sharp as the 6th and the 7th note. Okay. Alright, and then finally let's do one last one, and then I will stop bugging you. Alright, we have done G for a long time, right? Because the G 5-finger pattern is very easy because it's just all 5 white notes. Okay, but then when we add it into the scale, will it still be all just white notes? Okay, a lot of you already know it's not, right? So let's take a look and see what black key we have. All right, so we know that the first 5 notes is all white. Okay, we know that the last note is G. How do we know that last note is G again? Because the first note is a G. Okay, so let's add the 2 extra notes that are left, right? So from the 5th note that we just did, go a whole step, 1, 2. And then go a whole step, right? 1, 2. So there it is. In the key of G, you have a black key up here. It's an F sharp, right? So that's how you build all major scales. So no matter you're in the easy key, like in the key of C and the key of G, or you're in the nasty key, like in the key of A flat, B flat, D flat, doesn't really matter. Okay, you find that first 5 notes, which you already know, whole, whole, half whole. Okay, and then you build 2 extra whole step on top of the 5th note, and you will complete the scale. Okay, so try this out. It's very easy, like how Mr. Kaan was doing it, okay? And just counted it slowly. You will have it on page 107 of your book. You can see right here, it have all the keys, okay? So colored it in, all right? So you know exactly, you know, which note needs to be black key, which note needs to be white key, as you're going through all these different scales, okay? And this is very important, obviously. You know, you already learned that in theory, but now we are going to apply the knowledge that you have onto the piano as well. Okay, let me know if you have any questions, and hopefully you will find this video helpful today.